Hello, so today we're going to read Heroes in Training, Typhon and the Winds of Destruction by John Hollow and Susan Williams, Chapter 1. Chapter 1 is called Surprise Attack. Ouch! 10-year-old Zeus yelled as a hot orange spark hit his shoulder. Sorry, said Astia. I'm trying to figure out how to control this sting. She held up a long metal torch decorated with carvings. A bright flame danced in the shallow bowl at the top of the torch. Well, maybe you should try a little harder, Hera muttered under her breath. Zeus knew that Hera was upset. Yesterday, he and his 5 young Olympian friends had found the Olympic torch and its internal flame. He rather hoped the magical object would be hers, but the magic only worked when Astia held that torch. Zeus started changing the subject. I think we'll get to that giant beanstalk in just a couple of hours. He nodded to the distance. A tall green stalk with big leaves had sprouted up from the ground early that morning. The stalk had grown so tall that its top disappeared into the clouds. Pythia, the oracle of Delphi, had sent them on a quest to find the magic seeds, and the giant beanstalk looked like a good place to start. Poseidon, whose eyes were the color of the ocean, rubbed his stomach. If we find some magic seeds, I just might eat them, he said. We've been walking all morning and we haven't eaten since last night. Hey, is that a farmhouse? Said Red-haired Demeter. She pointed into the distance. Maybe we can get something to eat there. Hera frowned. Do you have to stop? We're not far from the beanstalk now. Actually, I'm kind of hungry too, Edith admitted. It's not a bad idea to stop, Zeus reasoned. We might need our strength to face whatever is waiting for us at that stalk. The other Olympians knew what he meant. Every time they went searching for a new magical object or missing Olympian, they got into some kind of danger every time. Sometimes King Cronus of the Titans sent monsters to stop them, or other Titans hurled fireballs at them. That's important, right? Or tried to kidnap them, or worse. Sure, the giant beanstalk looked like a harmless lump, but Zeus knew by now that anything could happen, and when it did, it would probably be bad. Poseidon broke into the run. Lunch, here I come, he said, racing toward the farmhouse. The others took off after him. When they got to the farmhouse, they saw a gray-haired farmer pulling weeds around the scraggly-looking vegetable patch. What are you kicks doing all the way out here? He asked. Poseidon spoke up. We're going to look for the Oof! Zeus nudged him on the ribs. We're on a journey, he explained, and we're pretty hungry. We were wondering if you had any food to spare. The old man scratched his head. Well, I lost lots of crops during the drought, he said. But I do have plenty of eggs thanks to the chickens and some carrots. We'd be happy to do a few chores to repay you, Demeter said sweetly. Charmed, the farmer smiled. Well, isn't that nice? Let me go cook something up. I can light your heart, as they offered, following him inside. Zeus looked around the yard. Brown and white chickens scratched the dry earth. 2 pigs slept peacefully in a pen. A pile of logs were stacked against the chicken coop. Let's make ourselves useful, Zeus said to the other Olympians. I'll chop some wood. He took the dagger-sized thunderbolt from his belt. Bolt, large, commanded. The dagger sizzled and sparkled, then expanded into a 5-foot-long thunderbolt. With bolt, he could slice through a stack of logs like they were butter. He had found the magic thunderbolt at the temple of Delphi before he had even met the others. It had helped to get them through a lot of dangerous situations, but it was great at doing ordinary stuff too. I'll fill the troughs, Poseidon offered. He held up his three-pronged trident, which he had taken back from a titan called Oceanus. That's when he discovered he was the god of the sea and could control water. Poseidon pointed at the trident at the pig's wooden trough, and it instantly filled up with water. I'll clean out the pig pen, Edith announced cheerfully, his dark eyes twinkling. Then she wrinkled her nose. Yuck! Why do you look so happy about it? She asked. Edith took a deep breath. Ah, that smell. I can't get enough of it. It's an underworld thing. Hira shook her head. It's a weird thing. Hey, you're talking to the Lord of the Underworld, you know, he just reminded her. More like a Lord of the Pigpen, he shot back. She still looked upset over the torch. You okay, Hira? Zeus asked. You usually save your insults for me. The Demeter tugged the sleeves of Hira's tunic. Let's go feed the chicken, she said. Thanks to the magical objects and Helios's love of smelly stuff, they finished the chores quickly. They took their seats at the large farmhouse table and dug into their lunch. You kids enjoyed, the farmer said. You certainly earned it. He shuffled off to the other room, and Zeus nodded to Poseidon, who sat across the table. Don't go blabbing about the magic seeds, he warned Poseidon in a loud whisper. If word gets around we're looking for magic stuff, Kronos might find out and come looking for us. Oh, right, Poseidon whispered back. The Demeter looked out the window at the farmer's fields. Most of the crops had withered and turned brown thanks to the titan named Hyperion. He had been hurling fireballs across the land, causing a terrible drought until the Olympians had stopped him. Hyperion's drought really devastated the land, she remarked. I hope we do find the magic seeds so we can bring back the crops like Pete had said. Well, I just hope the right person gets the seeds, Hera said, looking with a look at Hestia. What do you mean? Hestia asked, her light brown eyes wide. Oh, nothing, Hera said, but her voice was tight. It's just that, some of us have been doing these quests longer than others and still haven't gotten our magical objects. It doesn't seem fair. Zeus felt a kind of bad for Hera. I don't think the magical objects are in specific order as well as who they belong to. Maybe you just need to be patient. Hera put down the fork. We should get going. I'll wait outside. He stomped out of the farmhouse, her long blonde hair swaying down her back. Wow, she's as happy as a fish in a net, Poseidon said. The Demeter spoke up. Well, I don't blame her. How would you feel if you didn't have a trident yet? Well, I don't think I would. Ah! A loud scream came from outside. Zeus jumped up from the table and ran to the push-open farmhouse door. He and others rushed outside. 3 half-giants who were tall as trees stood in front of the pig pen. The largest one grabbed Sarah in one beefy arm. She kicked and scratched, trying to get free. It's the cronies, Zeus yelled. This is a picture of cronies. You saw them in book 1, right? Then meet you next time on chapter 2. Bye!